Hey guys, Hayley here and welcome back. So last week I filmed a video where I looked at some of the figures that I just couldn't wait to unbox during my 6-month hiatus from YouTube. And this week I thought we'd do the reverse of that, which is I did receive a bunch of figures that I ultimately regret buying. And so this is a chill unhaul or a figures I regret purchasing kind of video where I just wanted to go through some of the figures that I've received. Some of them I will unbox because I'm still on the fence about whether I want to keep them or not, so I might just open them and see how I feel about it. Some of them I'm definitely selling, and I'm just kind of gonna be running through them. Now that you know the plan, I guess we can start the video. I also did another video like this, which is something like the top 5 figures I regret purchasing and why. This is gonna be very similar, but it's gonna be a bit more chill because I'm not 100% sure if I regret them yet. But without further ado, let's jump into our first figure. That is the Kotobukiya Horror by Shoujo Freddy Krueger. This is the 2nd edition figure, and as you can see, she's not in there, so let me replace her. So around Halloween time last year, I got very invested in wanting a lot of the Horror by Shoujo line. And a part of that was why I picked up Freddy Krueger when I saw one available on Amazon Japan. The reason I regret it is because even though it's relatively cheap, it retailed for 8,000 yen. I think pre-owned is a little bit more expensive than that, but I do just regret picking her up because I'm not that in love with the figure. I kind of think the hair looks pretty cheap and the quality is not too great on it, and it's definitely not my favorite of the line, and I'm definitely just buying it because I kind of am a completionist and I kind of want all of them, and that's kind of silly. I did unbox it just so I could put it with the rest of my Horror by Shoujo figures and see how I feel, and it does look pretty good next to the rest of them, and I do like having a Nightmare on Elm Street represented in the collection, but we'll see. I feel like I'm not sure if I'll hold on to this one, but yeah. I might be feeding into my bad behavior, but if I could get the Jason to match with the Freddy, then maybe I'd keep the Freddy, which is just keeping this stupid chain of wanting to collect the series ongoing, so that's bad for my wallet. Let's not do that. Next up, we have a native figure, and this one is the Caress of Venus Hontengeki figure collection. And I'm not going to unbox this one because this will be one that I'm directly going to sell, so I'll put a picture up of what the figure looks like. I remember buying this figure when the native web store was like, yo, we found a whole bunch of old stock and we're gonna release all these figures for their retail price, even though their aftermarket price now is booming. And I kind of went on relatively late to it, so I missed a few of the figures that I really wanted, but I saw this one and I really like the other figure that comes in this set, and so I totally talked myself into hitting buy and checking out and buying it, even though it's a figure that I didn't really like. I just like the other one in the set, and again I convinced myself to complete the set, even though haven't been a figure collector for so long, I should know it's not worth it. Don't trick yourself into buying a ton of stuff that you don't even really like just so you could have them in a row next to each other. It's not it. She retailed for 17,000 yen, so she's actually pretty expensive as well. And I'm also noticing that I'm just buying less kind of native and Skytube figures because I don't really want too many of them in my collection. I just want the ones that I really like. And this isn't one of them, so see ya. All right, this next figure is one that I really immensely regret buying. Oh my god, it feels so dumb. I'm not even gonna bring it into the room because the box is so big. I might put in some shots of me hanging out with the figure, but it is the Apex's Honkai Impact Yae Sakura Wedding Dress 1/7 figure. Look, it wasn't cheap. She's pretty expensive, and look, I'm not even a big Honkai Impact player. I'm not a big Yae Sakura fan. Like I think she's cute. I mean, she's got pink hair. She's a beautiful character. I pretty much bought this because I just thought the figure was so beautiful, and I found the gimmick of her hanging very, very cool. And then the figure comes out and there's a whole bunch of drama because you need support poles. I still think like we need some like consumer trade legislation here about how you can't just put up product images and not include the support poles and edit them out and then sell it, and it's like, oh bam, what do you know, you need support poles. Like, none of that. It should be in like the description or something. Anyway, now I have this giant wedding figure. I don't even like wedding figures. I don't know why I bought it. I don't know, maybe I had a little bit extra money that month and I was feeling a bit stupid, but now I just want it. I just want to sell it. I just want to forget about that big regret. I hate when I really regret buying a figure, especially when it's one as expensive as that. Just as a question, I'm very curious to hear like, what is the figure you regret buying or pre-ordering the most? And leave it in the comments below. I'm sure most figure collectors would probably have one they regret if they like don't want to admit it to themselves. It's kind of a hard thing to admit because like you bought it, you've paid money for it, you may as well like it when it arrives, but sometimes you just can't. Next up, we have a figure that I bought because it's by one of my favorite manufacturers, and that manufacturer is Ulta. And the figure I'm talking about is the Sword Art Online Asuna 1/7. This is the Undyne version by Ulta. She retailed for 18,000 yen, so she's pretty expensive. Like, I'm on the fence about whether I regret this purchase. So I think I'm gonna open this one on camera and then see how I feel about it when it's open. Kinda regret it a little because even though Sword Art Online, like season 1, was a keystone event, it was like a canon event for me to discovering and liking anime. I remember when that was on, like everyone in my high school was talking about it, and it was like a really fun time. And it's also when I was like, oh wow, I'd love to cosplay someone like Asuna. And I don't know, I feel like Asuna's not as relevant now. She doesn't have the staying power of someone like Asuka, but I somehow talked myself into picking this up. I've not even finished Sword Art Online. I'd love to go back and watch season 3, but there's like, I think I got part 1. I never did part 2 or 3 of season 3, but I don't know. I know SAO kind of had like a rough ending, and maybe it was trash from the start. I don't know. There's definitely a lot of nostalgia talking, but I convinced myself to buy an Ulta figure because I love Ulta. I love their quality, and I thought that this figure was beautiful, and I still think this figure is beautiful. So let me go ahead and open it and see if it's one that I want to keep in my collection. Okay, so I have unboxed her and I kind of love her a lot. Ooh, I'm beginning to unregret this purchase. I think she is lovely. I really, really like this figure. I am obsessed with Ulta's pose that they've chosen. It's so dynamic, the way her hair and like her skirt flares up. It's so cute and I love it, and it's beautiful and amazing quality. I wouldn't say this is my favorite like Asuna outfit, but I do really like the blue. Guys, I think I'm gonna keep this figure. I think I'm gonna keep her. I actually really, really like her. It's just good. This figure's got me thinking I should maybe go and finish Sword Art Online finally. Put an end to that chapter of my life. I used to vaguely partake in like Lolita fashion, and one of the most popular terms in Lolita fashion is this concept of being a brand whore, which is where you only wear dresses from like very, very well-known and famous Lolita brands. I kind of feel like I'm a bit of a brand whore when it comes to anime figures. Like, if it's Ulta or like Max Factory, I kind of just always want it. Like, here I am buying an Asuna figure in 2023 because Ulta made one. I like Ulta so much, I was trying to convince myself to buy this like a crazy figure, and it's like I don't even play Arknights anymore. It's Arknights, right? Like here I am, I can even like vaguely remember what the figure. Anyway, okay, let's move on. And next up, speaking of being a brand whore, the other brand that I'd do anything for is Mythos. The only thing I can't do is work out how to pronounce their company name. But the next figure I think I regret buying is from Mythos, and you can see the figure's not in the box, but this was the Mythos Arena of Valor Taihua Ji Lao 1/7 scale PVC figure. I think Arena of Valor is the same thing as Strike of Kings, but like internationalized or vice versa. I have actually played this MOBA on my phone when I did like a study exchange thing in China for a while, so I have played the game. I know the source material. Barely, but like actually barely. I don't know this character, but I love Mythos figures and I fell in love with the character design. But ultimately here I am buying like a figure of a character that I have no value on. I did buy this figure because I fell in love with the design. I mean, can you guys see this figure? It is phenomenally cool. Like, it is so insanely awesome. Another big reason why I justified buying this at the time was because Mythos figures are so reasonably priced. She was 17,000 yen retail, which makes her the same cost as Ulta's Asuna. I don't know, which one do you think is better value? But I am feeling a little regretful just because I'm not sure if I have the space for something like a big showpiece like this, but I do love it. Like, I am going to keep it, I'm gonna make room for it now. But if I do ever need space and I have figures cooler than this, I think this would be one that I might get rid of or sell. I mean, I do love it though. I kind of feel like if you told me that Mythos was doing like, oh, we're doing original figures based off the elements, and this one's the air elemental, then I'd just buy it and I'd never sell it because I'd be like, oh, it's a beautiful OC. So I think if I just convince myself this is a beautiful OC, then I'd be fine. On the other hand, now I'm thinking like, does it even matter that I'm not really in love with the source material? It's a beautiful figure. I like beautiful things. Yeah, actually, I'm just gonna keep this. Good outcome. The more dangerous thing is now I'm probably convincing myself to pick up like another figure from Valor of Kings. Arena of Valor. Strike of Kings, Arena of Valor. But yeah, there's another one from that same series that's like beautiful. And I kind of want that one too now. I should chill. All right, now we're on to the last two figures that I regret purchasing, and they're both kind of themed together because they're both China dress figures. I think everyone in the figure collecting community will remember like a sudden surge of China dress figures coming out everywhere. Like, even like seasonal anime, like the Rent-A-Girlfriend girl has a China dress figure. Like Raphtalia has anyway, it was a trend, it was popping off, and I did full prey to a couple of really beautiful China dress figures because, you know, I do think they're quite pretty. So the first one is the Lu Tianyi Grain and Ear version. I think this is by Good Smile Arts Shanghai, and I believe she is a V singer figure. Like, is she like a Vocaloid but Chinese? I think that's what she is, and she's very beautiful. I remember picking this up because the Mythos Miku gives similar vibes, and that is one of my favorite figures of all time, and she's very similar. She is a 1/8, but ultimately I kind of regret picking her up because I don't know who she is. I definitely don't listen to her music. I guess she's just a... Anyway, she wasn't cheap either. She retailed for 19,000 yen, and I think since she's gone down in price in the aftermarket. So made a bit of a loss on this one. But I'm gonna put her aside for now because I want you to compare her to the second China dress figure that I kind of regret buying. And this one is the DSR 50. This is the DSR 50 from Girls Frontline. I believe this is the red peony version. She looks like that. And she's also in a China dress, although she gives off very different vibes to this one. She's very, the boobs are big in this one. And she's also got a big ass sniper, which is like so cool. So I was thinking, since I'm like on the fence about both of these, they're both characters that this one I definitely know nothing about. This one, I don't play Girls Frontline, but like, I guess I know about the DSR 50 as a rifle. So I thought that I maybe should keep one of them and sell the other, because I do quite like both, but they're very different vibes. I think I'm leaning towards the DSR 50, just because I really do like the big sniper rifle on the back of the chair. I think that's a really cool addition. I should mention though, this one I picked up, she retailed for 18,000 yen, but I impulse bought her because I saw her for 10,000 yen on pre-owned, and I was like, 10,000 yen? That's almost half price, and so I bought it. It's like, I hate, you shouldn't browse like pre-owned deals, because like you'll just impulse buy things when you think you see a good price and not really think about if it's something you really want at all. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna sell this one and I'm gonna open DSR 50. I'm gonna pop her in the collection for a bit, let her marinate, let her simmer, and see how I feel about her. She's pre-owned anyway, whereas this one's new, so I'm happy to open this one. Let's go. So I've finished putting her together, and I do really like the figure. I love the big sniper in the back. That is so cool. And the figure is beautiful. It's got some really nice details. I hate how big the base is, not gonna lie. And also the hair was kind of hard to put together, but I do like the figure. And I think I'm gonna keep her on my shelves for a bit. I'm trying to put together like a, I don't know, like a hot girls shelf where they're all in like cool formally kind of dresses, because I've got an OT14 with the same kind of vibe that I'm gonna unbox coming up. So maybe they'll look good together. I think if that shelf runs out of room though, that this would be the first one to be ejected from that shelf. She's very pretty though, I do like her. And I think she's a steal for like 10,000 yen. So I wouldn't pay retail for her, but for 10,000 yen, I think she's a wonderful figure. Okay, that is everything that I wanted to talk about in this video. I know it's a bit of a different video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. I did ask before, but do let me know which figure you most regret buying or pre-ordering. If you're a figure collector, it's definitely happened before. Like, it happens to everyone. We succumb to impulse pre-ordering and impulse purchases, and that's just the reality of the hobby. So it's good to kind of reflect on it, move into the rest of the year with a bit more of a cautious mindset when it comes to pre-ordering figures. I'm just laughing because I can see in my computer over there, I've just got like tabs open of things that I was thinking of pre-ordering. Yeah, I'm just gonna close them and be well behaved for a bit. Yeah, that is all I had for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have a good week, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.